to functions in the unit disk. So in classical vanilla theory, there is a clear distinction between the meromorphic functions in the whole plane and meromorphic functions in the unit disk. I would say that the plane case is more studied and more complete than the case of the unit disk, where some extra conditions should be imposed. Okay? He deals in particular with this famous inverse problem, very well known in the plane case, not so well known in the finite case. And he also obtained some refinements of known results in the case of functions of slow growth, in particular finite logarithmic order. Okay, I think it's a nice thesis, but I should like to ask him some questions. Okay, are you ready? Okay. I shall make you first some general questions, and later on we shall go to some particular points in the papers you have presented. So you have divided your thesis in 3 papers, so we shall go paper by paper. First of all, I should like to ask you about Q difference and Q difference in the vanilla theory. So I should like to ask you, as far as I know, there is no standard reference for this topic. For this topic, there is no monography, general monography or book. Then I should like to ask you about the reference to study extensively this area. You mentioned some papers due to Corjone, Harbour. Do you think these are the references to go to, or there is some other name you should mention?
Okay. I will mention some reference. No. Okay. Okay. The first important reference is about difference analog of logarithm order of logarithm derivative. It was founded by Zhi-Tao and Harbour in GMAA. In GMAA 26. The author is Harvard. This is the first result about the difference analog of logarithm derivative. After that, these 2 authors still do this kind of problem. They have the result about the Q difference analog of the second fundamental theory. The result was published in Academic Journal. In 2006, the author is these 2 professors. Here is another version about the difference analog of logarithm derivative, which was founded by Ekman Jiang and Shao Jifeng. They published a paper in a manual journal in 2008. The author is Ikman Jiang and Shao Jinfu. This is a different case.
It's a different case.
Yes.
So, but can we attribute the second fundamental theorem for the difference analog and the difference analog to Halber and Corbonen? Can we attribute it? Who proved for the first time the second fundamental theorem analog to Nevarina second in the difference case?
Who proved the first?
Yes. Who were they?
From the second
Fundamental theorem.
Okay.
What name should we indicate when we talk
In
about
this
it?
paper, they proved it at first.
Okay. Halber and Corbonen.
Yes.
Okay, one more question about this topic. So, what is in the classical case, the main ingredient of second fundamental theorem, or one of the main tools, is Jensen's formula.
Yes.
What are the ideas, what are the lines of proof of the second theorem in the difference and Q-difference case?
Oh, okay.
Proof differs very much from the classical case.
Similar as the yes, complex case.
Similar to the complex
normal
case.
case, yes.
To make use, for instance, of Jensen's formula.
Yes, use the Jensen formula. And they get the difference analog of the logarithmic derivative.
Okay, and one final question from this topic, and we go to the paper. So, you, at some stage, you say that these two theorems, the difference analog and the Q-difference analog of the second theorem of Nevarina, are similar, or are. So, but there are significant. I find significant differences. For instance, in the difference analog, you assume meromorphic functions of finite order. And Q, bigger or equal than 3, the small functions. A Q of Z, T R I equal literal O of this theorem. Whereas in the Q difference, analog, you assume f of z zero order, and as targets, just points, A1, AQ. As far as I can see, this is quite more general than this analog. Well, what is the main reason for this? It's a technical reason. What fails in the proof of these theorems, for instance, that we cannot assume finite order? Why we have to assume zero order?
The nature of this true theory is on the Hammond's lemma. For the
Which lemma?
Hammond's lemma. The lemma was obtained by Hammond.
Okay.
And for the difference case, that means for the shift case, the Hammond's lemma works for finite logarithm order.
Okay.
And for difference case, the lemma only works for zero order case. So that's why this option is different. And here is exactly the example to show that the zero order and the finite logarithm order couldn't be deleted.
Okay. Okay. So let's go to the papers. In the first paper, which is for paper 1, you obtain a nice result on the difference functional equation, namely fz when plus L of z e to qz f z z plus c equal p of z. Okay? Where all these functions are polynomials. And you obtain very detailed information about the solutions, and even to give some explicit form the solutions. Okay, but you do not consider at all the difference case. So functional equations make perfect sense in the Q difference case. What is your feeling? What can you say about this? Do you think similar information could be obtained for the Q difference case?
Frankly speaking, this is an open problem right now. We use the Stiglitz lemma to study the exponential polynomial of the solutions for the first time. Before that, nobody used this lemma. So we only do the research about the difference case. We didn't consider about the Q difference case. So right now it's open problem. I'm quite sure about this. And I will say something about this. The function we considered is this one. And Pz is polynomial, capital Qz and capital Pz are polynomials. For this function, at first, if we want to study the zero order solutions, if f is a zero-order solutions of these equations, the right-hand side of the equations is of zero order. This term is of zero order. This term is of zero order. That means Qz should be constant. If not, we will have contradiction. If Qz is a constant, we write these equations as this form. Pz here is polynomial. Okay. Okay. And we put this gas into the right-hand side. We have this equation. Take the characteristic function of the both hand side. The left hand side is NTRF. The right hand side is TRF plus logarithm R and the small term outside examining side with equality hold. So n should be equal to 1. If we consider the non-linear difference equation, we suppose n is larger than 2. So that means it's a contradiction. That means there is no zero-order monomorphic solutions of this difference equation. If we consider about the exponential polynomial solutions of this equation, if f is exponential polynomial solution, let's write f as h0 plus h1 e omega zq plus blah 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 hm E, W, M, C, Q. Q is the order of F, and H0, H1, and Hm are exponential polynomial of degree less than Q over polynomials. W1 and Wm are leading coefficients. Q shift of the exponential polynomial. Okay. We denoted W is W1, W2, Wm. For Q shift case, the leading coefficients will be changed. For Q shift case, the leading coefficients will be changed. So that's to say the characteristic function of Fqz is equal to Q times TRF plus one term grows smaller than RQ. Okay, and consider about this difference equation. We put this term into the right-hand side, and we have this equality. The leading coefficients of the left-hand side is Q times W1, Q times W2, blah, 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 Q times Wm. And the leading coefficient of the right-hand side is, okay, let's Q is equal to B times ZT plus D1 times D0. The leading coefficients of the right-hand side is B plus Wi. That means shift along the version of the B. If we compare the leading coefficients of the both hand side, if we compare the leading coefficients of the both hand side, the convergence Hall of this, the parameter of the convergence Hall should be the same. So my feeling is I should prove this in two cases. The first one is all the leading coefficients in one line. The second case is all the leading not all the leading coefficients in one line. For the one line case, the leading coefficients here we denoted the maximum modular of the coefficients is Wm. So I think the modular of B plus Wm, this should be Q, should be the modular of Wm times N. This is for one line case. For the case 2, not all the coefficients in one line. At least my feeling is it's a contradiction. my feeling is contradiction. It may be similar as the proof of in my first paper. And I have another feeling. At last, the exponential polynomial should belong to gamma 1. And the order of the solutions should be equal to 1.
So you propose to work on this question?
No.
You have thought of it?
No.
A bit, so.
This is very similar as the proof in the first paper. So I think they should be similar, but I didn't start this problem. I think this will be a new paper.
Okay.
Thank you for this question.
Okay. So let's go to the, okay, thank you. Let's go to the next question. Okay. Let's go to paper 2. In this paper, you apply again Q difference Nevalina theory to some Q difference functional equations. Okay. In particular, you extend a result by Berweiler and other people. Essentially, you shall consider for simplicity the homogeneous case. So we consider equation of this type, AJ, Z,